guys, welcome back to my channel and the first video of 2021. Grab yourself a cup of tea. I thought it would be good fun today to do a bit of a summary of 2020, which is the whole idea, frankly, is hilarious because 2020 was an absolute train wreck. But I've been absent from uploading for about 3 months, so I thought, why not have a bit of a catch-up video, let you know what I've been up to. I've got this in B&M actually. It's so cute. It kind of matches the plates that I've got, except the plates aren't green, but I mean, with this class as green or like a mint, but it's nice anyway. My 2020, eventful to say the least. I started the year off with a divorce. So coming out of a really long sort of relationship and marriage, which has taken a lot of adjusting. My mental health has been the worst it's ever been, probably. But I've had therapy, which I may or may not talk about in another video actually. I'm in a much better place sort of this half of the year than I was at the beginning. June 2020 started this YouTube channel and started uploading regularly, and did that for June, July, August, like 3 or 4 months. And then end of September, stopped uploading. But this is sort of a personal nitpick that I've got, where I pick up these things, really put effort into them, and then I just stop. And then I, sit here and be upset that I've not been successful at things, but actually, I've stopped before I've had an opportunity at sort of doing really well at something. So starting 2021, trying to like pick up with things that I've started and, put down without finishing. Hence why I'm back here. I'm going to start uploading regularly, which, I mean, coming up with ideas for videos in what is the 3rd national lockdown isn't the easiest, but we moved. 2021. I don't know how much I paid for this actually. Let me grab the receipt. It was in the clearance section of the range, $2.49. Oh, reduced to $2.99. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, it was in the clearance section, but oh well, it's cute anyway. I'm trying to think of the timings of the lockdown. So obviously the first lockdown was March. There must have been an ease in like the restrictions, because by July we had Noah's birthday and we had some family over. I'm quite sure we didn't break any lockdown rules, but we had a party in the garden for Noah's birthday. Balloons and barbecue, I think. It was nice. I think that was the first time we'd sort of seen any family. But then saying that, I don't think any of my family come up. My sister's got 5 children and doesn't drive. So for her on the train for the day, it's just not financially doable. I don't even know how much train. I think it's like £100 odd pound. And with the travel times and how long they'd only get to be here for a couple of hours, so it's not financially viable to pay all of that money to essentially spend, an hour or 2 here. My mum didn't come because she was looking after my gran, who has dementia, and my granddad has been poorly, sort of in and out of hospital, and he actually passed away in September, which was really sad. And I say unexpected. He was in his 80s, so obviously it wasn't that unexpected, but he's always had sort of varying health problems, but actually got over them. So he'd been in and out of hospital. Funny story actually, he was in hospital. They'd advised him to stay in. He didn't want to stay in, so he said to the nurse, I'm just popping for a cigarette. He doesn't smoke. He's never smoked. So yeah, he just left the hospital, pretended he was going out for a fag, and then called my auntie to pick him up at the bottom of the road. So, that's the type of sort of mentality he was, Yeah, he was an elderly gentleman, but he was still fit as a fiddle, completely got his sort of own mind, and if he didn't want to do anything, he weren't doing it. But I've actually got some footage. We had a piper at the service. I'll insert like a little clip of the piper music because it was so beautiful. But having a funeral during COVID, so this is October, so I'm quite sure in October there was more restrictions again. It had ramped back up, I'm quite sure, because we were only allowed like 15 people, I think. Or it might have been 30, but either way there was very few people there. It was in a crematorium, and there was like chairs in groups of sort of 3 or 2 or 4, and then big gaps. Like, it was, I've never seen a crematorium like it. My dad passed away in 2018 and we had his funeral, and the crematorium was full, the lobby was full, there was people outside, there were so many people. And the only other crematorium funeral I'd been to was a friend of mine at school who died when we were teenagers, and again, that was completely mobbed. There was hundreds and hundreds of people. So to then go to a funeral where there's like a handful of people. And I mean, they did record it. There was a live stream for like his family who live further to sort of look, or people that couldn't attend or were shielding or vulnerable or whatever. But it's just not nice. I mean, the service was beautiful, it was lovely, and you know, all the immediate family were there, but I just don't think, it just felt odd to have a funeral and just a couple of, you know, mourners. It wasn't nice. And they're sad because he was such a loved man and a really popular, you know, everyone knew him. People would ask after him, say to my mum, you know, oh, how's your dad? You know, all the time. So without restrictions, I don't doubt that he would have had so many people that would have wanted to go, you know, friends, but, you know, there just wasn't. And that's sad. I mean, all in all, 2020 showed me that I generally don't do a lot because the restrictions haven't really affected my life as much as others. So obviously I wasn't working at the start of lockdown, so I haven't had to like leave my job and start working from home. I started my job in COVID, which while that is peculiar and a bit isolating at times, that's, you know, I've only ever worked that job in that way. Ruby, shut up. So yeah, I've done that. So I've got Ruby moaning in the background. So yeah, it's, in terms of like social life, obviously with the kids and, you know, getting divorced, or even before that actually, I never really went out socially. So in terms of like the pubs being shut, doesn't affect me. Gyms being shut, doesn't affect me. You know, so I generally do stay indoors anyway. So the hardest thing for me was when the schools were shut. I mean, the schools are shut again now, but in March, I don't know if it was March, April, whenever it was that the school shut, that was really tough. So I've got a teenager, 7-year-old, what was a 3-year-old then, and a 1-year-old. And to be honest, like, I've got no shame in admitting that I am the type of parent I would rather be at work and put my kids in childcare. And that's, you know, not a reflection of my willingness to parent, but actually it's bloody hard work. Like, yeah, there are stay-at-home mums that enjoy it, and, you know, I take my hat off to them because, you know, they're made of some hard stuff, because it's bloody hard and it's not for me. So I've, you know, had kids fighting and all the rest of it, and Noah doesn't sleep at all. So, you know, quite often I was staying up most of the night with Noah. He would go to sleep in the early hours, and then like an hour later I'm getting up with the little ones. So, you know, no one was sleeping. It's just stress, you know, housework not getting done, and it's just, you know, really, really difficult. So for me, I was glad when the kids went back to school, because it just eased everything a bit. In September I started a new job, which was interesting because that was completely remote. So I'd been for a job interview in February, was offered the job, and then was waiting for sort of DBS checks, references, all the normal sort of pre-work checks, and then obviously the big first lockdown happened, and that sort of put the brakes on that. There was sort of no rush to get me in, because obviously they were having to move to remote working and navigate, you know, their staff that they already had. So yeah, I finally started at the end of September. So I work from my dining room table. They provided me with a laptop, and I've got remote access to sort of all their servers and things, so that's full time, and that is in the criminal justice system. So obviously my background, or my degree, is in social work, and I worked there for a short time before wanting to move into like a different discipline. So this is like my move across into like the youth justice and justice side of work. But it's going really well actually. I'm really happy there. Really nice team. But yeah, that's something really positive for me. So back in the world of work, and obviously with that obviously comes, you know, improved finances and all the rest of it. So, you know, that's a sort of big positive. I literally never smile. Like, my natural face is just like resting bitch face. I'm like, that is me. I need to brighten up. In November, Connor launched his own clothing brand, which was cool. So yeah, he's called that Arcona Clothing. To be honest, I can't remember how we come up with the name. I think we were just writing down random words, and it's Arcona, spelled A-R-C-O-N-A. I think because it sounds like Arcona. Quite good. We found a young girl on TikTok to come up with our logo, so I will pop her a link to her profile below. Quite sure she's from Australia, but yeah, we paid for a logo from her. We used all TikTok small businesses or Etsy shops for things like our sewing labels, our card tags, business cards with Vistaprint, but you know, where possible and, you know, not ridiculously different in price, we are trying to use other little small businesses owned by sort of young people. We'll pop a link below to his little Etsy shop. We are working on a website at the moment, so that will be launching soon. It's been quite popular actually. We've got quite a few Etsy sales sort of from around the country. We just need to work on how we're going to sort of continue to promote that and help it to grow. But yeah, that's a random thing to come out of lockdown, but all sort of good nonetheless. And obviously if that sort of picks up, that's, you know, it's handy to have like a sideline that he can have financially, and, you know, who knows, you don't know where these things are going to sort of go to. Oh, I almost forgot actually. So at the beginning of the year, Noah became obsessed with the Aristocats, like the kittens of the Aristocats. And all he was talking about is that he wanted a Toulouse, a Marie and a Berlioz, right? At this point I was like, there is no way on earth I'm getting 3 kittens. Like, for anyone that's had kittens or puppies, or dogs or cats, you know, adult cats are quite chill, they sleep, you know, feed them, give them water, you know, they generally look after themselves, easy peasy. Dogs, you know, walk them, feed them, play with them, easy job. Kittens and puppies, no, they are, well, if you don't want your whole house trashed, do not get kittens. Psychotic animals. And I swore years ago, after we did have 2 kittens, I would never be doing it again. Meet Toulouse, Berlioz and Marie. Oh, I might do another video how we came to sort of get all 3 of them. So Noah's happy. We had Toulouse first, and I thought that might sort of do it. And Orly then went on about, he said, I want a Marie. And this is like 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Mummy, go and get me a Marie now. You know, we caved, found a little white kitten, drove 2.5 hours to get it. And we thought, you know, that'll do. Mummy, I need a Berlioz. Well, do you know what? Finding a black kitten, like a pure black kitten, was so difficult. And then, after the fact, to realise that actually the Berlioz on the film is actually grey. We are now the proud owner of 3 kittens, which I swore I wouldn't get, which I said no to. He then said, no, Mummy, we need the mama cat. And I've said no, and that's a hard no. Like, I'm not going to be the crazy cat lady. As it is, we have 3 dogs. We've now got 3 dogs and 3 cats, and fish. Oh, actually, and Connor bought a hamster before Christmas. So yeah, that's a hard no on the mama cat. Also, do you like this jumper? Look how big the sleeves are. Like poofy sleeves. It's from, oh I've got toothpaste down it. It's from Tesco's. It says kindness counts on that toothpaste stain. Love it. It was £10, which is obviously a bargain, but they have it in like a coral colour, they have it in white, they have it in black. But I think there's about 5 colours, but I couldn't justify spending £50 on jumpers, even if they were cute. But this is amazing, with the poofy sleeves. So Christmas was one of those things that for a minute there you almost wondered whether it was even going to happen. But I did go down and spend Christmas at my mum's for the first time in years. My sister came over with all her kids, my brother was there, well he lives there, but you know, all the siblings were together, all the kids were there, you know, it was really nice. I was like 4 hours late, but I think that's, you know, that's who I am as a person. I don't think we've done that, all of us, in over 10 years for sure. And I don't think I've seen my mum on Christmas Day for maybe 5 years. I've lived up in Nottingham for 6 years, 6.5 years. And in that time I've been rubbish at visiting family. There's been times that I haven't had a car. There's been times that, you know, people at home have got stuff on and haven't come up here. My sister generally can't afford to get public transport up because, like I said, it's just extortion. So yeah, I haven't seen as much of people. Then this year being told you're not allowed to see people, I think has given me the motivation to, you know, get a rocket up my arse and actually go and see people. You know, I have a driving licence, I have a car. I'm fortunate enough that I can travel, you know, go down and see people. I don't have a single picture from the day or video or anything, but I think that's nice because, you know, we were so busy, we were chatting. I was the sort of designated driver for the day, so I had to take my sister and her kids back to where they live, which is about sort of 20 minutes, half an hour up the road. So yeah, took them home. So by the time I got, and then my kids were going to their dad's sort of Christmas Day night, so dropped them off as well. So by the time I got back, Christmas sort of day, night. Oh no, that's it, I remember. So that's what the restrictions were going to be. It was going to be tier 4 for Suffolk, Norfolk, Cambridgeshire, yeah, I think. Yeah, so what people were supposed to do is spend Christmas Day together and then go home Christmas Day night. But I didn't. So me and my brother drank maybe about 3 or 4 bottles of Prosecco. But that was like my 1 glass, he was finishing off the bottle. And we stayed up until 3:30, 4, sort of Boxing Day morning. Mum went to bed about 3:30, and then I think we had another drink. But you know, it was getting light. So I ended up on the sofa with his massive dog. Big old Staffy, thinks it's a lap dog. So he's like curled up on the back of the sofa, like on the actual back of the sofa. Is this big old Staffy, like 25 kilos of dog, thinking like he's a little kitten or something just snuggled up there. Honestly, never seen a sight like it. So yeah, I was paranoid on Boxing Day, like everyone's in tier 4. I thought, oh that's it, I'm going to be pulled over for leaving a tier 4 area when I'm not supposed to be here. So I felt like a, you know, hardened criminal driving home on Boxing Day. But alas, I wasn't pulled over. Shouldn't really admit on camera to breaking lockdown rules, but you know, I was on the way home. But yeah, I mean, quiet New Year's Eve. Had the kids, no one was asleep, but we didn't particularly do anything. I think that's the magic of 2020. Don't make a plan, because then you can't not do it. It can't get ruined if you haven't got a plan. Yeah, I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I think for everyone in 2020, we've all been on some sort of personal journey of, you know, growth. Yeah, it's been tough, and I think sometimes when things are hard, that's when we, I don't know, learn a bit about ourselves. I've learned to sort of, you know, pick up the YouTube, go back to my blog, you know, pick up the things that I was doing and they were going well, you know, just get back to me, do things that I like. Obviously I've got goals for 2021 in terms of like my own sort of work goals, both in like my employed career and, you know, things that I want to be sort of doing on YouTube. I've made a bit of a plan. I know I just said the lesson of 2020, don't make a plan, but I have tried to put some sort of loose goals in place, so I've got something to sort of work towards. I don't want to just exist, you know, I want to live, I want to achieve things and do things and just experience things. You know, there's so much that perhaps like my mental health or like fear of being judged, so much that I've not done, and I think, you know what, like we've all survived a global pandemic, you know, let's work on us, you know, use this time that we're stuck in our houses, again, like we're in the next year from when this all started, but you know, use this time that we're stuck in our houses and just, you know, do something that makes us happy, you know, work on our write, read, film, watch, do whatever it is that makes us happy and, you know, helps makes life a bit easier. I just got a message from my sister. Her 10-year-old is asking, are we back? Because we broke down a little while ago, had to get rescued by the RAC. And I said, yeah, we're back, but Connor's in bed. But anyway, it's 7:30 on a Sunday night. So what they've been doing this week is taking full advantage of no school, and they've been staying up all night on the Xbox. And I have a funny feeling her 10-year-old has not slept at all. Like, honestly, like how are they functioning? Like, I'm nearly in tears. If I've had a night where I've got 1 hour sleep, I'm crying in the morning. I'm crying into a strong coffee, questioning all my life choices. Kid's been up for like, I don't even know, many hours. So yeah, my 2021 so far, I'm grateful for it. I'm in a better place with my mental health. I've been asked to be a bridesmaid first time. Well, for the second time. Same bride, different wedding. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Maybe that'll be the incentive I need to actually lose some weight this year. So yeah, so I'm going to be bridesmaid. I'm going into 2021 with a job. I'm not going into 2021 with a working car because I just broke my drive shaft. Yeah, I think even though I'm a massive bag of stress, I need to take my Christmas tree down. I don't know at what point it's bad luck, but today is the 10th of January and I haven't taken it down yet. Not just from laziness, but I don't have a ladder to get into the loft to get the box to put it in. So I might just have to wrap it in bin bags and shove it under my bed for now. But yeah, and the cat smashed a mirror. But I mean, that can be his bad luck. You know, I'm not taking that. He's got 9 lives. He can just allocate 1 to 7 years bad luck. I've got 1 life. I'm not taking the credit for that, Hans. I started 2020 hoping that I was going to, you know, invest in myself, get skills. You know, I'm still on my online master's degree from the University of Essex Online. So they've actually, they employed me. I'm not employed, but I'm one of their student ambassadors. If you were to go on the University of Essex Online and look at their criminology and criminal psychology page, there's a little chat box at the bottom and that comes straight through to me. So I answer questions like to do with the course, general questions to do with like their accessibility, you know, is it a good fit for the person and whatnot, and then just sort of forward them on to sort of admissions. So that's really good and it generally is brilliant. I think I like to only get on board with stuff that I generally like because I think it's quite hard to sit and talk about something that you're not that interested in. But having my master's degree online has literally been a godsend. I think if it wasn't an online provider, I would not still be doing it. I would have 100% dropped out, 100%. And I am behind some of my peers because you have like the option to take like 2 modules at a time so you can get done in the best time, but I haven't. I've opted out of that, so I've only done 1 module at a time, just basically so that it stays manageable. So, you know, this time next year I may well have a master's degree. But, you know, 2020 has been full of its flaws, but it's not been all bad. There have been some achievements. Yeah, I think that's it from me. I have got a lip filler vlog, which I filmed in September maybe. It's like in the break between the first lockdown and then the introduction of tiers where we are, that I just need to edit and upload. So you'll probably see that pop up over the next week or so. But this is, you know, the first of regular uploads from me. I'm going to commit to that. But yeah, I will get together a video of the cats if you're interested. But yeah, I now know why my friend called her black cat shite bag or shit bag, because they're psychotic. Black cats are crazy. But yeah, thanks for sitting through my life update 2020 was shit conversation, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye.